Sure, that's where I'm going. If she volunteered herself to be used by the devil, you too as a believer can say, Lord, I volunteer my gifts, I volunteer my skill. Whatever I do, I volunteer that, it can also be your tool for light. Sure, I also volunteer that it can also be your tool for light. So she volunteered to use her skill as a weapon of destruction. You can volunteer to use your skill as a weapon of light. So I had to query one of my mentees. I said, come on. I woke up that moment. I became angry. I became burdened. And that's why I kept sharing it. I told her, I said, why is it that an unbeliever is using a skill, to destroy marriages? You too, you're a professional makeup artist. And, you're not using your skill. You're not using your skill as a weapon for light. So from that moment, she too, every time she have makeup, jobs, especially bridal makeup, she takes time to pray. Yes, she takes time to pray before they start. I said, so doing makeup is laying on of hands. When you do makeup, you're laying hands on people. So it doesn't mean you don't have to be a pastor, be on the pulpit, for God to use you as a vessel. Your hands are blessed. Your hands are blessed. So you can use your hands as weapons, of course. So somebody can be sick, you can lay hands. That's laying on of hands. You're doing makeup on people, you're laying your hands on them. You're getting well, they're getting better. Even if their marriages are supposed to fail, their marriages succeed because of you. So that was my challenge. So I woke up from that vision with two things. I was angry, I was burdened, and I felt like confronting her. I felt like meeting her physically because I know that whatever I saw wasn't concocted by me in any way. We've ate together, she has made my hair, I knew that whatever I saw has nothing personal. Even prior to that moment, I know when God speaks, I know He was the one speaking to me. He was running me. That time, probably I was ignorant and never knew. But this time, God wanted me to know because she was out for it. And who knows, ignorance can make me a victim. So God was warning me, to stay away. So I had two things. One, walk up to that shop and confront the hell out of her. Two, leave it alone. So I spoke with my husband. He told me, leave it alone, pray. So I prayed, I kept sharing with everyone who cared to listen. And guess what? A few months later, I went to that same place, not intentionally for a confrontation or whatever. I simply went there to, just check on her, how you doing? She has moved. Because she knew that someone already knows who she is. So she fled. She left the city, she relocated, and that was it. So, I was convinced that she fled because I prayed. So that was it. I was convinced she fled because I prayed. I really prayed. I meant it. I prayed for those she has. I don't know them, I can't go and start searching for those she has done bridal makeup for, but I was concerned about the sister. I was concerned, I was burdened about the people she has worked with. So I was praying. I prayed. I meant it. And guess what? A few months later, she has fled. So, since then, I've had the burden of sharing this. Especially if I come across a makeup artist, I do not fail. Especially if the person is a believer, the person is born again, I do not fail to share this story. I do not fail to share this experience I had. So I was convinced that God showed me because He wanted me to do something about it. Yeah, that's why He showed me. He wanted me to do something about it. He didn't show me the vision to entertain me. He showed the vision so I could do something about it. And I really did. There are a few times I've prayed, the way I prayed, because I was really I was infuriated. I was angry. Besides that, I was very much burdened with it. So if the enemy can commission someone, either you are a sheriff, you're a makeup artist, you are a creative, whatever you do, you're a fashion designer, if the devil can commission someone for destruction, if you call yourself a believer, God can commission you for light, to bring joy, to bring peace to people. Your skill can be a conduit of God's presence. Your skill can be a conduit, a carrier of God's presence. Your hands can be a carrier of God's presence. So whether you are a chef, you're a fashion designer, whatever you do, your hands can be a carrier of God's presence. So if the enemy can commission someone to destroy, how much more will God commission your hands to build? So your hands are meant to build. Your skills are meant to build. Build people with your skills. So whatever you're doing, you aren't just an artist. You are in a position of authority. You are laying hands on people. You are in a position of authority and you are laying hands on people. And you are entering their space. So I want to challenge you today. Your hands are a channel. When you're doing a bride's hair, you are infusing longevity, happiness, joy, productivity, children into our marriage. You are a conduit of God's presence. So don't take it for granted. Don't take it, what you do especially for money. Let it be a burden in your heart. So you're going to have a record for bride that you've done something for, and you've infused successfully by God's presence in your life. You've infused health, longevity, joy, productivity into their marriages. As a chef, the same way your clients, eat your food and they enjoy wellness, they enjoy healing, they experience, healing in their lives. So you don't have to be on the pulpit first, hold a microphone first before you can become a carrier of God's presence. Wherever you do, wherever you are a conduit that God wants to reach, wants to use at that moment to carry his light into your generation or into your space, into their personal space. Because every time you do a work for someone, you're entering their personal space. You make their hair, you're entering their space. So God wants to use you to reach those people you are, rendering services for. And so you're a carrier of his presence. You're not just, a workman. You're not just a skilled person. You're not just a mechanic. You're not just a barber. You are a carrier of God's presence. Please let God use your hands. Let God use your hands. Take it seriously. Let God use your hands to touch people. Let people eat your cakes, and just receive healing, free from cancer. They can't explain, but they just know that cancer is gone. They can't explain how it happened, but they just know that cancer is gone. So as a skilled person, the atmosphere you carry changes the outcome of the services you provide. So don't just be a professional. Let your skills be a conduit through which God's presence flows. So when your customers leave your shop, they are not leaving your shop just looking good. They are living with God's blessings. They are living with God's blessings because your hands touch them. So this isn't just about a religious thing. This is about real intentional believers carrying God's presence wherever they go, because it can really make a huge difference. Since I shared these stories, I've got testimonies. We got someone in our church, prior to even sharing this vision, she understood this very early, and I can tell you that as a hairstylist, people who have been barren for years, she has, through the presence of God that she carries, she has been able to impact them, and the spirit of barrenness is gone. I got a testimony of a lady who came to a shop. The husband is wealthy. She has 3 girls, and tradition means that not having a boy child was causing her a lot of pain in a marriage, and God used her. The next year, same time next year, having that understanding that I'm a conduit of God's presence wherever I go. The same time, the other year, the woman had a beautiful, handsome looking boy. That has always been a pain, that has always been a desire, and she used that medium, to be a conduit of God's divine presence. So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Your hands are blessed, your hands are anointed. You are supposed to carry God's presence wherever you go. It is a serious matter. This is a serious matter. Yeah, believers, wake up. Take God's presence into your skills. So before you pick up your tools today, what are you inviting into your workspace? Let your work be a blessing. Let your skill be a tool of restoration. Be intentional in your business. So before you go out today, what atmosphere are you carrying into your business place? And so there's one last detail of that story that I almost forgot. She was also having horns. It was a clear sign of the path that she has chosen. But you are a carrier of God's supernatural presence. Ensure you carry God's presence, God's supernatural presence into your workspace today, and God bless you.